There was a beautiful woman who started life with all the advantages, but she had no luck. She married for love, and the love turned into dust. She had a very lovely son, yet she had been forced upon her and could not love him. He looked at her coldly as if she found a weakness in her character. She wanted to find a way to cover up the weakness, but didn't know what it was. Whenever her son was present, she felt the center of her heart go cold. This troubled her, and in the manner she was in the more gentle and concerned for her son, as if she loved him very much. Only herself knew that the center of her heart was a little hard piece that she could not feel love, no, not for anybody. Although they lived well, there was never happiness in the house. There was never enough money. The mother had a small house, and the father came into a small income, but there was nearly enough for the social position which they had to keep up. There was always the pressing feeling of not having enough money. However, the lifestyle was always kept up, and the house came to the field to the unspoken words, "There must be more money, there must be more money." The children could overhear it at Christmas when the expensive and wonderful toys filled up the playroom. Behind the shining modern rocking horse, behind the small doll's voice, a voice would say quietly, "There must be more money, there must be more money." It came whispering from the movement of the rocking horse, and even the horse bending its wooden head impatiently to go faster heard it. There must be more money, yet nobody ever said the words. They were everywhere, and therefore no one spoke about them.
Mother, why don't we keep a car of our own? Why do we always use uncles or a taxi?
Because we're the poor members of the family.
But why are we poor, Mother?
Well, I suppose it's because your father has no luck.
Is luck money, Mother?
No, Paul, not quite. It's what causes you to have money.
Oh, well then what is?
As I said, it's what causes you to have money. If you're lucky to have money, then why it's better to be born lucky than rich. If you're rich, you may lose your money, but if you're lucky, you will always get more money.
Oh, will you? And is Father not lucky?
Very unlucky, I should say.
Why?
I don't know. Nobody knows why one person is lucky and another unlucky.
Nobody? Nobody at all?
Perhaps God, but he never tells.
But by yourself, aren't you?
I can't be if I married an unlucky husband.
Why?
Well, never mind. Perhaps I'm not really.
Well, anyhow, I'm a lucky person.
One day, his mother and his uncle Oscar came in when he was on his rides. He did not speak to them.
Hello, young jockey. Riding a winner.
Are you growing too big for a rocking horse? You're not going to be a little boy any longer.
But Paul's fierce blue eyes sat rather close together, looked straight ahead. He would speak to nobody when he was riding at full speed. His mother watched with a worried look on her face.
Well, I got there.
Where did you get to?
Where I wanted to go.
That's right, son. Doctor, stop till you get there. What's the horse's name?
He doesn't have a name.
Gets on with that one, all right.
Well, he has different names. Last week it was Sansovino.
Sansevino, eh? Won the big race at Ascot.
He's always talking about horse racing with Bassett.
Uncle Oscar was delighted to find that his small nephew was up with the latest horse racing news. Bassett, the young gardener, had been wounded in the left foot in the war. He had served under Oscar in the army. Got the gardening job through Oscar. Bassett knew a lot about horse racing. He lived for horse racing, and the small boy lived it with him.
Master Paul comes and asks me about racing, so I can't do more than tell him, sir.
And does he ever put anything on the horse he thinks will win?
Well, I don't want to give him away. He's a young sport, a fine sport. Would you mind asking him? He sort of takes a pleasure in it, and perhaps he'd feel I was giving away, sir, if you don't mind.
Oscar could see Bassett was very serious. He went back to his nephew and took him off for a ride in his car.
Say, Paul, old man, do you ever put any money on a horse?
Uncle,
Yes, son.
you won't let it go any further, will you? I promised Bassett.
Bassett be damned, young man. What's he got to do with it?
We're partners. We've been partners from the first, Uncle. He lent me my first 5 shillings, which I lost. I promised him that it was to only be between me and him. Remember when you gave me that 10-shilling note? I started winning with that, so I thought you were lucky. You won't let it go any further, will you?
Right you are, son. I'll keep your tip private. After delay, how much are you putting on him?
All except 20 pounds. I keep that in reserve.
You keep 20 pounds in reserve, do you young dreamer? What are you betting then?
I'm betting 300. But it's between you and me, Uncle Oscar. Promise?
It's between you and me, alright? But where's your 300?
Bassett keeps it for me. We're partners.
Where are you? And what is Bassett putting on Daffodil?
He won't go quite as high as I do. I expect perhaps he'll go 150.
What? Pennies?
Pounds!
Between wonder and amusement, Uncle Oscar was silent. He had no more, and he decided to take his nephew with him. But he could pay him a partner, and when the Leaguer Cup was coming on, Paul was sure about the lively spark, which was not highly thought of. The boy insisted on putting 1,000 on the horse, Bassett went for 500, and Oscar Cresswell 200. Lively Spark came in first, and the betting had been 10-1 against him. Paul had made £10,000.
I was absolutely sure of him.
Look here, son, this thing worries you.
It needn't, Uncle. Perhaps I shan't be sure for a long time.
But what are you gonna do with your money?
Of course, I started it for Mother. She said she had no luck because Father is unlucky. So I thought if I was lucky, it might stop whispering.
What might stop whispering?
Our house. I hate our house for whispering.
What does it whisper?
Why, I don't know, but it's always short of money. You know, Uncle?
I know it, son. I know it.
The house whispers, like people laughing at you behind your back. It's awful, that is. I thought if I was lucky.
You might stop it. Well then, what are you be doing?
I don't want Mother to know I was lucky.
Why not, son?
She'd stop me.
I don't think she would.
I don't want her to know, Uncle.
Alright, here, son. We'll manage it without her knowing.
As Paul's pockets grew, his mother's jealousy began to show as a result of Paul's love.
I always knew you were lucky.